Welcome to the Artificially Smart Marketing Podcast, where we explore the exciting world of artificial intelligence and its impact on marketing. Every week, we feature in-depth conversations with industry leaders, technology experts, and marketing professionals. Our guests share their insights and experiences on how AI is transforming marketing and providing businesses with a competitive edge, keeping you up to date on the latest trends and best practices in AI-powered marketing. Now, whether you're new to the world of AI or an experienced professional, the Artificially Smart Marketing Podcast is the perfect place to learn about the latest advancements and how they can be applied to your business. Join us each week and let's explore the intersection of AI and marketing together. Welcome, everybody. My name is Matthew Maniac here with Tony Aponte, hosting the Artificially Smart Marketing Podcast. How's it going, Tony?
Good. How you doing, Matthew? How's things going?
Doing good, doing good. So today we've got a really, really exciting topic that I think a lot of people are going to be able to benefit from, and it's another one too that's also a little more data driven, a little more technical, but still a lot of great information. And that's going to be talking about AI as it pertains to things like branding, audience segmentation, and really kind of delving into some of the sentiment analysis capabilities of the technology. I mean, obviously, Tony, this is more your wheelhouse whereas I do a lot more of like the video and the content creation. You're in there kind of doing more of the digital marketing. So can you tell us a little bit about like just that whole process of this audience segmentation and sentiment analysis and really what that is and how businesses can use it just on a overhead level?
Yeah, definitely. As we get into this, we'll kind of go into um, more or less how um, with AI, it's given us the ability, when it comes to marketing, it's about identifying what it is that our customers want. What are those deep emotions that that drive them to either purchase or hire us for whatever it is that we want. And a lot of times, it's without certain tools, that's very time consuming. And and there's a lot, it's a matter of being able to gather a lot of data in the shortest amount of time. And so when we talk about trying to segmenting our audience, there's a lot of different things that really need to know when it comes to our audience. And that's where AI really comes in handy because it helps us not only gather the data a lot faster, but then it allows us to really break it all down to a way that we can use it for our marketing.
No, definitely, yeah, and I mean, you and I have had several conversations just on this topic, and especially when it comes to that analysis side of things, right? Like, I forget kind of what the breakdown is, but it's like say that you're looking at Google reviews, right? You can only get and gather so much data and information from like what they're saying, but then some of these AI language models can be able to really delve into the word choices and the way that the language is used to really kind of hone in, just like we're talking about on that sentiment side of things. But before we kind of delve really deep into that, I think we need to really focus in on branding and how the AI can be leveraged to help guide and structure that process. Because I mean, one thing that is super important is obviously making sure that your brand is consistent across all your platforms, across all your content, across all your media, and how that translates into your services. So, can you tell me a little bit about kind of how you've seen AI being used and some of the benefits, particularly when it comes to keeping that consistency and helping to understand some of the competition?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So when it comes to marketing, one of the things that we need to do is we need to be able to identify and put together a brand that's going to resonate with our audience. And so one of the things that uh, using AI tools allows us as business owners to do is to be able to create a brand that's consistent across all channels. Making sure that we have, our branding colors, our websites, logos, our branding images, everything is all consistent, and that where we can constantly create a brand that people are going to automatically identify. Um, you know, Whenever I was going over the notes on this, I couldn't help but think about Coca-Cola. You Well, I mean, it doesn't matter where they're at, you're going to automatically identify, oh, that's Coca-Cola, and that's really how we want our customers and our prospects to be able to identify us. The minute they see something online, they're going to automatically be able to identify who we are.
No, no, definitely, and I mean, obviously, kind of a question that I think some people will have is it's like I know for me, and I'm sure there are going to be others out there too, that it's like, hey, I've been kind of having that consistent branding, like you said, Coca-Cola has been around for decades, and they've had the time and the market testing to be able to build that brand authority, that brand awareness, and that brand identity that people anywhere in the world can now recognize, all without AI, or at least at the start, without AI.
Right, right.
Um, so how would you say that this AI technology revolution has been enhancing that process? Because um, I mean, obviously, we're being given new tools, more uh, again, analytical capabilities to really dissect what is our brand and how do we communicate that more effectively. But I mean, how have you seen AI being used in that regard?
So yeah, so definitely with AI, it just adds to our tools of arsenal to be able to really shorten the time that it takes us to really build, a really good, strong brand. Like you said. So if we reference back to Coca-Cola, they've had years of being able to gather a lot of data, so much data that more than what most of us are able to, to be able to gather. And so that's where AI really comes in handy, is that it basically helps us it gives us the tool to be able to really speed up the process of understanding who our target audience is. You know, whenever, as business owners, whenever we're looking to market our products and services, we really need to understand who our target audience is. Instead of just throwing anything up at the wall to see what sticks, if we spend a little bit of time in identifying who our target audience is, we're able to create a brand message that is going to resonate with our audience. And that's where AI comes in. Once you understand how to use AI to give us the output that we're looking for based on what our products and services are, who we are as a business owner, what is it that we're trying to accomplish, and what's our mission statement, what's our vision statement, those kind of things. We're able to really put together a profile that's going to resonate with our audience, and we're going to be able to really get a brand that's consistent and people are going to be able to buy into it.
No, absolutely. And kind of bouncing off of that, right? Like we can take that customer profile, that customer avatar, and say that we've got different ideas of different types of brand messaging or wording or things like that. We can then take that into something like a chat GPT and say, act as, say, a prospect or a customer matching this profile, and then ask it to be like, hey, like which of these brand messages or messaging structures it resonates most closely with you or with that, or in that case with that company or with that customer profile, right? And so you can kind of test it and then have it act as a critic as well, and then help to
Right.
refine that messaging, refine that communication style to then really hone in and get super hyper focused on that specific profile, so that way you can be dominating that segment.
Yeah, definitely. And I think one of the things too that I find that a lot of people, struggle with is, how do I say this, or how do I don't know what to say. And the beauty about tools like ChatGPT, and I'll just use as an example, you know, if let's just say that we're putting together a social media campaign, right? And we're trying to find the words to say. A great way to do this is, and again, it all goes back to training AI. You basically take some content that you've written personally. You can even use your own text messages, you know, take all that content, put it in ChatGPT, and say, "Hey, ChatGPT, can you please tell me the voice behind this?" And it will be able to identify what that voice and style. And then now you're like, okay, great. Now you can tell ChatGPT, great, thank you. Please create this content in this style and voice. And now, whenever you're putting it on social media, it actually sounds like it's coming literally from you.
Oh yeah, no, and kind of a similar story on my end from that, right? Is every Monday on Instagram, I'm doing motivational Mondays. So I take like a philosophical quote or a motivational quote, and I'll kind of analyze it, break it down, and end with a challenge for the week for the people that follow me on Instagram. And I recently kind of been trying to test the limits of Chat GPT and seeing if it can match not just the tone and style, but also the format and analytical the analytical process that I follow for each of these quotes. And so I fed it, three or four examples of ones that I had done, and I was like, using the same style, voice, format, write me another one, but using a different quote, and then I gave it like a new quote to analyze. And after that, I sent it to some of the guys that I do some work with, and I was like, hey, like, what do you guys think about this? And then they were like, yeah, no, it's good, just like anything else that you write. And then I asked him, I was like, did ChatGPT write this, or did I write this? And they were like, no way. So like it just goes to show, right? Like you say, it's all about training, it's all about priming. And because I've been doing those motivational quote things for years now, so like I've got so much, like you said, data and so much information on how it's been structured and the consistency of it, that a lot of people nowadays don't recognize the difference, which on one hand can be kind of scary if you're into that sort of vein of things. But when it comes to the actual leveraging it of, like, for a marketing purpose, you can really kind of delve in and dial in that consistency to a point where it can then free you up to do lots more to really grow the business.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's really, it's really awesome, kind of like what, pretty much what we're able to do now. Whereas, before it would take us forever to do that. And then, because of the time that it takes for us to do that, we kind of like just put it off to the side. Well, I just don't have time to do that. And so it
Yep.
just allows us to get a little bit deeper into some of the things that we really need to be doing is when it comes to building, working on our business uh, because of the ability that we have now, increasing efficiency on, using tools like this to kind of really help us maximize our time. And not only that, but also maximize our business overall.
Absolutely. And I mean, obviously, with maximizing the time for ourselves to delve and build the business, that in turn allows us to really get more personalized with the messaging and personalized with how we interact with different segmentations of our audience demographics. um, so like from that standpoint, right, we can really help to identify, kind of like what you were saying, where these services and products that we're developing are going to be best suited, because we can take the data that we might have or that's available just in the market and leverage these AI tools to help analyze that. So I mean, like, what are some ways that you're using AI to, say, create marketing campaigns between, say, different segmentations of audience sets?
Yeah, definitely. Most business owners have more than one product or service, and each product and service is going to resonate differently with every different type of audience. And so, how do we uh, get away from trying to have a broad tone, broad messaging, broad voice where it's the same all the way across the board? How do we get away from that and get a lot more specific, as if we're talking to John here, we're talking to Sally, we're talking to
Bill.
another person here, right? Yeah, Bill. And so, because each individual is going to understand our products and services, they're interpret everything differently, and they're all going to have different pain points. So, what what using AI allows us to do is allows us to create frameworks where we can literally ask specific questions based on our customer avatar, that we can identify those pain points and we create marketing copy and products and services specific to that individual. Now, does it mean that it's actually that one individual? No, there's that one individual. Let's just say that, let's just use, for to be able to understand this a little bit better, let's just use a pressure washing company, and they offer exterior cleaning services. And let's just say, let's go to another step. Let's say that this pressure washing company is an eco-friendly company, right? All the chemicals that they use for cleaning their exteriors are all eco-friendly. They're safe for the plants. They don't kill. There's no bleach. There's nothing in there that's going to harm the environment, right? So that particular service can be promoted to individuals that are very, very alert, they support all eco-friendly products. They're green, the green family, right? The green industry, where they're looking for businesses that have that mission, right? So you take that product, and that your products, your power washing services, and the messaging focuses in on the messaging that they're going to resonate is, we support green products. We offer green products. We are here to protect the environment. All right. Now you take that same, company, pressure washing services, and they are go in and they start talking about, one of the biggest issues when it comes to pressure washing is the risk of using high pressure versus soft pressure, right? Because a lot of people, there's a lot of pressure washers out there, that people that don't know how to use a pressure washer, and they can damage the exterior of the house. So now you talk about another customer that wants to make sure that they're hiring someone that understands the importance of the proper pressures. What kind of pressure washing are you going to be doing? Is it going to be soft, soft cleaning, or are you going to be a high pressure? Is my siding going to be damaged? I've got cedar siding. Are you going to be able to make sure that you pressure wash my house in a way that you're not going to splinter up all my cedar, right? And so now the messaging to that audience is going to be completely different than to someone that's going to be looking for eco-friendly products, right? So when we get very specific, we segment our audience that way, we can create marketing that speaks specifically to them, and it's going to hit all the emotional points that are going to trigger them to want to reach out to us, for those products and services.
No, definitely, yeah, and kind of like what all that is kind of like what you and I had talked about that day, right? Is it's making things personal isn't just like part of the marketing plan. It's a way to service your customers, because when the people like to be, or the old saying, right? It's like, speak to people not how you want to be spoken to, but speak to people how they want to be spoken to. And
Right.
so it's by being able to really identify and hone in on some of these pain points, leveraging the AI tools that are available to us, we can get really hyper focused into those pain points and into the messaging that's going to resonate with and speak to those different audience demographics that we provide our services to as business owners.
Yep, for sure. And then, another, kind of go delve into that a little bit deeper. I can't help but sometimes think about, whenever, to kind of really help people understand, when it comes to building brand loyalty, customer, and also customer retention, is when you go to a restaurant where you have a server taking care of you, right? That server, their job is basically to sit there whenever they're taking care of you. They're going to basically see how you interact with them, right? And most, the good servers are going to sit there and basically be able to adapt to who you are, to be able to make sure that you're enjoying your dining experience. And the way they do that is by adjusting the way they approach and the way they interact with you based on the feedback that they're getting from you as a customer. And that's, that's how you make your diners, you have them enjoy your dining experience. Not only that, but now they're going to want to come back because they had a great personal dining experience that server was able to provide for them. And that is, I just can't help but you really use that as a catalyst for everything that we do when it comes to businesses, our products and services. It's all about creating a personal experience for our customers and also for our prospects that is going to help with our brand loyalty. They're going to want to continue to be buying from us, and they're always going to be referring us, and they're going to stay as long-term customers.
No, absolutely. And I mean, I'm sure that you've experienced that too, right? Where it's like you remember the businesses that you interact with, you remember the services that you use that have that personalized touch, whether that's, like you said, pressure washing that understands the like you said, the cedar railing or whatever. And then like on my end, right, working with people in video, it's like I look for the people that are going to understand the stories that we're trying to tell and communicate that in a non kind of cookie cutter templatized way, right? Because
Right.
everyone's story is different in every video, even if it's a similar execution, it's a different story that we're telling. And so wanting to make sure that we capture that is always super important for I mean for what I do in video, but for any business that's communicating with the public.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so I mean, kind of delving even deeper into it, right? Because now that we've got a brand that's consistent, we've got messaging that's consistent that speaks to a specific target demographic, a specific audience or audience set, I should say rather. Now, you know, start providing services and start getting those reviews coming in on Google and Yelp and other platforms, things like that. Now we can kind of really delve into measuring how our services are performing in the eyes of the customer, and then leverage these AI tools to be able to analyze that sentiment and even further refine our fulfillment or even what the services are, and potentially even the ChatGPT or other tools even brainstorm new solutions, new services, new products that we can then offer to our existing customers and further again create that cycle of personalization and improve sentiment and continuously doing that. I mean, I feel like there's just so much that is so many doors are being unlocked in that regard with AI technology. Like, would you say that that's accurate?
Oh yeah, for sure. So now, once we've kind of figured out who our target audience is, we know what products we're going to be offering, what services we're going to be offering, and then once we convert these customers, right? What's the feedback that we're getting, right? What's, or what are the reviews? What are customers saying on social media? It's if someone is involved on a Facebook group and someone says, "Hey, I'm looking for a recommendation for such and such service." You go back in there and you look at what customers are saying. Are they referring your company? If they are, what are they saying? Okay. Or if they're not referring you, what are they saying about you that is negative, that could negatively impact your sales? Right. And so you can take all that information and now understand what it is that your audience is saying, what their emotions, what are they feeling about you and your services, and you can address them whether it's positive or negative. If it's positive, now you know what your customers are like about your services, and you can use that to enhance your marketing, your branding, your messaging online. What are they saying negatively about your business? It gives you the ability to be able to pivot and address those the negative response and address the areas that you need to improve so to be able to maintain that customer retention.
No, absolutely. And I mean, looking at some of the tools that are out there that our listeners can use and that small businesses can leverage in, say, collecting that data and things like that. I mean, we've been seeing the use of chatbots for years now, but we're seeing a further enhancement of the chatbot service through leveraging these like ChatGPT APIs, like the language models that these tools are using to really kind of get, just like you said, more of that personalization. Because with certain primers, you can start to have it speak a certain way. You can start to have it read things and analyze text a certain way. So, I mean, like, what are you seeing in the world of say, like just chatbots as an example?
Yeah, so the beauty about chatbots is that you can actually program and build those chatbots in a way where, um, depending on the responses that people input, you can have it where it responds specifically to that. And so it kind of what it does, it creates a an initial conversation with the customer right off the get go to be able to prime them to be able to reach out to you when you go in and you look at the information that they provide. It allows you to be a lot more specific now. Whenever you actually get on the phone with them, you already know some of their concerns right off the bat, and you're able to really address them right from the very beginning instead of sitting there trying to from the very beginning that you get on the phone. You're not trying to understand what their needs are right off the bat before you can finally get into the meat of the discussion as to how you can help them out. And that's where chatbots really come in handy. You got a lot of really good services out there. Facebook has their own platform already, where you can go in there and create a conversation. Manning Chat is a really good one. There's and the thing is that you can literally use Chat GPT to basically help you structure a chatbot sequence, no matter where it is, to be able to really get have a really good specific chat conversation online with your prospect or your customers.
Yeah, and I mean, with that too, your prospects are going to be that much more inclined to, I mean, again, with the way that some of these AI technologies are, is they're not going to really guess that they're speaking to an AI. They might think that they're speaking to a real person, and that information is just quickly and seamlessly getting translated to you when you pick up the phone when they call,
Right.
or when the chatbot connects the two. So, I mean, it kind of creates a more, just like we're saying, a more personalized, a more focused, a more seamless customer experience, which they're going to then remember. And then, provided that the solution is actually able to help the customer,
Yeah.
they're going to be more inclined to leave that 5-star review with a nice testimonial that you can then take and put that through the AI to measure customer sentiment and analyze it further. Because
Right.
it's a lot of times, right? It's text is difficult to read like emotions out of a lot of times. That's why when we're all in high school and your girlfriend responds with K, it's like the guy always overthinks it, right? And it's like, and so it's kind of that same concept. Is it's what is the customer saying or typing, but what do they mean behind it? And so these language models are can be trained to really delve into the meat and potatoes of it and kind of read or get even different potential reads out of a potential review on Google or something like that. Because then
Right.
it becomes more of a guessing game if the customer is not specific, and things of that nature. So there's a lot of analytical power that is there, and same thing with like the chatbot sequences, right? After you get a few cycles in, I'm sure you can download, right, the history or the communication log with the customer,
Hmm.
input that, and then just troubleshoot that, right? Like, identify gaps here. How can we make this more seamless? How can we make this more concise for the customer?
Right.
Maybe do we try different wording that's maybe more geared towards this, or this customer in this specific instance or situation? Is there a question that we can add at the start, maybe that we're not considering now, that gets more of that demographic profile, that customer avatar information up front, to then leverage that information into the way that things are communicated down the road,
Right.
for further enhancement of that conversation, right? There's just so much that we can do with it. Um, It's really really awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's going to happen? I mean, it's already happening, but I think you're going to start seeing a lot more of it now. With, chat GPT now being on the market here, you're going to be able to go to websites and actually literally just chat with chatbots, and it's because it's all going to be integrated with AI. So you're literally going to be able to just sit there and just basically converse back and forth. If you're looking for customer service, you're looking for, you got some questions to ask about a product. If you're on an e-commerce website, if you're on a service business or a website, you got certain questions that you want to ask about the specific services. It's going to get to a point where you literally can have really one-on-one conversations with the website, based on what how that chatbot was built for that specific business. So it's going to be a lot more personalized experiences, which is really good because now customers or prospects are going to be able to really hone in on whether or not that business is the one that they're looking for.
Right. It's going to be much more streamlined, and even with
Yeah.
that, the businesses are going to be freed up even more so to focus on the fulfillment of their services. Because
Yep.
I mean, you got to think when you're talking about these larger franchises, and even like local mom and pop shops that can leverage this technology, right? How much
Yep.
of that of their time is dedicated right now to customer service, or customer support rather, that could be automated, right, through the use of this AI technology.
Hmm.
Um, like there's just a lot of I feel opportunity, right? Because it's if say 20% of your time right now is customer support for like simple tickets that this AI can then automate. What does that translate to over the course of several years, and in several months even, of just focused redirection on fulfillment.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. And it's kind of like going, back into, customers and using that information. Uh, it's going to be this. I think this is where the power that most small business owners are just going to really be able to benefit from the most when it comes to using AI is that, and I think it was our first or second episode. We talked a little bit about it, where it's going to allow the business owner to really focus more on the growth, right? Building on their business, working on their business, and identifying where the gaps that they have to be able to increase that bottom line. You referred to being in respects to Chat GPT or the chat bots being able to kind of take that off the hands of the business owner. One of the things that another key importance in that is that by the time that customer or prospects gets done with that conversation and that chatbot, they have pretty much turned from a cold customer now to a warm prospect because they were able to in that within that conversation back and forth with that chatbot, they've probably been able to get several of their main questions answered, and now it's a matter of converting them to an actual paying customer. Which the that you know that gap of being a cold prospect to a warm prospect has been lessened now. And so I think that's another uh, key PowerPoint that we need to really understand. Just that one tool, a chat bot, can help with conversions.
100%, 100%. Awesome.
And so how does all this come together, right? What is it that we use these different mediums, chat bots on our websites, on social media, you know Google and Bing now are going to be incorporating. Bing's already incorporated the whole, the chat part into the AI search. Google's right there too. It's already, the AI search, is coming in. what is it that now that we have all these different integrations that we can use, how is that we can use that information to really increase our brand messaging, right? And one of those things is, it all goes back now to, at the end of the day, it all goes back to what is it that our customer wants? What is it that they're asking for? And this allows us to really hone in on those desires. What is it that our customers wanting to, um, what are the solutions that they're looking for? And we're able to go in, take that data, and really put together services and products that literally answer those questions. What are the pain points? We're able to create products instead of sitting there and trying to spin our wheels on guessing on what it is that they want. All right. Now we have data that's going to be able to shorten that time that we spend on trying to understand what our customers want, and take that time and focus more on creating products and services that are going to meet their needs. What is it that how are they perceiving our brand? What are the perceptions that they have? We can take that and be able to use that towards our brand messaging in social media. We take the what is that they're, the concerns. It goes back again to, are they saying something that's, negative? you know what's our competition doing? you know are we able to go in and looking at our products and services for it allowing us to take that information and building products and services that meets that gap that our competitor is falling into.
Right.
Pause right here. Can you pause right here real quick? Can you hear the dogs?
I don't hear anything.
Okay, good. All right. Because they're like barking back here. I'm just wondering.
Oh, gotcha.
It's throwing me off a little bit.
No, I gotcha. Let's see. So you were, so yeah, I mean, to that same point, right? Essentially taking the same method that we were talking about earlier and reverse engineering it with your competition's customer sentiments, right? So taking their Google reviews, Facebook reviews, taking all of that customer feedback data that's public and out there, inputting that into the same system that you've used to analyze your own, analyze theirs, find out where they're missing the ball, or where the gap is in the market, and then you can even leverage AI tools in generating the concepts and the services and the solutions to then put in, plug that gap, and take over that market share for that solution that your competition is leaving on the table.
So, at the end of the day, when it comes to, it's really important. And I think this is one of the areas that I think most small business owners that I talk to, this is the one area that they miss, is the importance of putting together, first identifying who your target audience is, being able to segment that audience, because at the end of the day, we're all going to have more than one product or service to offer. And that one product that we may offer, we have different ways. We're going to be able to identify the different ways to communicate that to different audiences, because they're all going to interpret our products and services a little bit differently. And then not only that, but then being able to segment now our marketing campaigns to where it's literally specific to those audiences, right? To that demographic that's going to really be able to grasp our brand, our messaging. Whenever we create our brand online, it's going to be able to allow us to keep a consistent brand across the board, whether it's imagery, coloring, colors, uh, tones, everything that we do online is going to be consistent all across. It's going to be easier for us to build our campaigns based around that brand. And then once we get all that done, now we're going to be able to really get into the nitty gritty when it comes to social media, being able to understand what our customers are saying about our brand, what are they saying about our products and services, and not only that, but also understand what they're saying about our competition, where we can basically get the edge on our competition by taking that information and acclimating it to our products and services.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, another great episode in the can here for our followers. Thank you so much for joining us today and listening in. If you guys found value in today's episode, please feel free to hit that like button, subscribe to us on YouTube and or wherever you might be tuning in from. Thank you for joining us this morning, and we'll see you guys in the next one.